Alright, what's up everybody? Hey, we just had a really fun time videoing, doing something just kind of off the hip. It was pretty cool. And yeah, I totally forgot to shoot the intro, but we went to the boat, talked about a bunch of swim baits. You can get all these baits I'm talking about at dreamcatchersfishing.com. Some of these are really hard, rare swim baits to get. Do not miss out on them, because this is what happens. We have these baits up on our website. They eventually sell out, and then I see in the comment section of videos and Instagram and Facebook, oh, wish y'all weren't always sold out. Well, if you're the person that comments that stuff, hop on over to dreamcatchersfishing.com. Link is down in the description. But enjoy this fun little video. We just went out to the boat, talked about the baits we have tied on, why we got them tied on, how we're using them, and yeah, pretty educational. But hope you enjoy this. Subscribe to our channel, and that's all I got. Enjoy the video. Oh snap, we're in the shop hanging out with Jennings. That's right, Jennings has been guiding like a madman. You guys caught him pretty good yesterday?
Yeah, we caught him excellent.
Oh yeah?
I would say excellent, but it was pretty good.
Yeah? What, I saw, what, the one fish, how big was the one the lady had?
Probably 4.5.
Yeah, big one. Dude, this is fun. We're just hanging out today. I'm not hanging out for long, but we're just hanging out in the shop. Big Mike had to go run some errands, and yeah, that's what we're doing.
So, what swim baits have you been throwing lately?
Man, you can't be blowing me up like that, dog. Actually, this would be a fun video. You want to go, we should actually just, I'm sure if I pulled the boat cover off, see what we got. You guys want to do that? We'll see. Listen, we'll do a video. I might have some rods without swim baits tied on, but I don't know. Let's just go back. I don't know. Oh, dude, those look hot.
I know, I told Big Mike, I was like, growing up as a kid, I used to slay fish with these. These come out when I was in like middle school, and me and a couple of my buddies used to slay fish on these.
Dude, that's a little booger right there, dude. That looks just like a little herring. I bet they would smash big smallies. All right, just got off the water. So let's see. I was like just about to cover my boat.
Look at the shine on that boat. Yeah. So me and Jackson done a bang up job on the old nitro.
You guys like it? I got my built dance seat right here, son. All right, swim baits. So this side of my rod box is nothing but conventional tackle. I keep all my worms and worm rods, jigs, spinner baits, all that kind of stuff, flukes. This side's the big swim baits. It has a dedicated side in my boat. All right, ooh, I got some good stuff in here. So you want to know what I'm throwing right now, why I'm throwing it? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. First two rods. I've got a Spro Shashimmy 125 in chrome. The deal with this is burning it around brush. Like, I've got that Garmin 16-inch unit. Obviously the fish freaking suspend on brush like crazy on sunny days like this, because I always want to match the color of my bait with the weather conditions, right? So like when it's sunny, I really want chrome. You can just see how much flash it is. If I didn't have my sunglasses on, I'd have those little rings in my eyes. And then that one's just the standard blueback color. It's got more of that pearl blue finish, green back. But those are the Shashimmies 125s. They're available at dreamcatchersfishing.com. If I hit the lens, is that good for the camera?
Probably not.
All right, next rod. Ooh, I've got a Hinkle shad tied on. And the deal with the Hinkle shad is a lot like the trout bite. This time of the year, what happens is, as the lakes get really hot, I mean, like I'm sweating out here just doing nothing, but as the lakes get really hot, the water gets up, and those gizzard shad, man, they will run to cold water a lot like the trout. So that Hinkle shad I'm using to scope fish in that kind of, I don't know, 10 to 18 foot of water where there's running water, you know, kind of like where the big rivers on a lot of our reservoirs end up meeting the lakes. That's the deal. So hey, look, a little souvenir leaf. But yep, that's a Hinkle shad. On that note, I've got the bull shad, the trick shad. This bait is pretty special. I'm a really big fan of that bait. You might be wondering where the front hook is. It's a secret. No, I'm kidding with you. The hook was actually just bent out and beat up from catching a bunch of fish on it. But when I think about the Hinkle shad and the trick shad, both of them to me, it's a very similar bite. This bait, I'm probably going more for numbers. And that one, obviously, my numbers probably go down, but I'm really going for some size. But, you know, I'm getting back in that cold water, and I'm honestly, a lot of these bass, they get out in these cold water rivers, they get behind a big rock or stump or something out in that running water, and anyways, you can target them with a big gizzard shad bait, so that's why I really like that. And then the other thing is, The trick shad has a lot of that side-to-side chop action. The Hinkle shad does too, but the trick shad, man, I was telling someone the other day this. You ever watch those Major League Baseball players like Javi Baez and they go to slide and it looks like they're out? Well, they kind of slow time down and they're able to like dodge these tags and everything. That's kind of how I feel with when I'm glide baiting. Like, I can read the body language of a fish and I don't get sped up. I can just say, oh, I can see him, the way he cuts or the way he moves, and just instinctually. I've been guiding for 10 years. Jennings behind the camera, he's been guiding for a long time for us. Trained by me, of course, but he's a stud still. But anyways, you know, I can slow time down, I feel like, and just see how those fish are reacting in their body language and know when to twitch it, when to give it the right cadence to make them bite. That bait has so much hook rash, or not hook rash, teeth rash, tooth marks on it. It's nuts.
It's all hook rash.
Well,
it's all hook
it's hook rash, but then like right there, you see it looks like one's absolutely mashed it.
Oh, the camera's so bright.
Oh, it's okay. All right, so the next bait. This is the clutch darter. Just pull the rods out so they break. That's the clutch darter. You know, I've been talking about this bait. Oh my gosh, look at all the teeth marks on the back of that thing. But this bait is unique in the fact that just like the trick shad, it's very choppy and...
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Son, put it in reverse, Terry. But that bait right there, man, I talk about it all the time. Our freaking lakes, these fish get so dialed into herring a lot of times, like when you're doing the herring deal, whether it's a brush pile deal, or I'm not kidding, it's late July, guys. There's still some kind of herring things happening up shallow on a couple of the lakes. But that bait right there, it has such a quick, tight, choppy action. It gets numbers of bites, it gets big bites. So far we've got the Hinkle shad, trick shad, we've got the clutch darter, and the Spro Shashimmies. Let's see what else we got. All right, of course you guys know I've got both flavors of the DRT Klash. I've got the DRT Tiny Klash. That one is in laser specs. Once again, you can see it's real sunny out, and I'm sure you can tell the flash of that bait. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at teeth marks like crazy on the back of this one too. But anyways, I've got a transfer tail on it. The transfer tail makes it to where it's a lot like a Seville. It has that very serpentine-like action. I was actually on Hartwell a couple days ago. I went and tried something super off the wall and crazy. Ended up catching a 4.5-pound largemouth on that bait right there. And of course, in typical fashion, because I was just doinking around, I like didn't bring my GoPro. I'm like, I probably should have brought my GoPro. But that was pretty gnarly. And then like I said, ooh, that's right. I've got the DRT Klash 9 in our custom brown trout color that's coming out. Now this is actually a prototype color, but here's the deal with it. It looks a lot like a brown trout, but it also, I think, looks a lot like a brim. You know, you think about brim have that orangey yellow breast, chest that has that almost purplish chrome side, and then that brown back, and then brim, of course, always have little dots of red and black and whatever. So the brownie looks a lot like a brown trout, but I think it also looks a lot like a brim. We actually changed the color a little bit. We dulled up the yellow on the finals. We added a little bit more pearl white dots around the purple chrome, and then that same finish back, but that bait's gonna absolutely smash them. If you don't know this, I'm about to educate you. But in the Carolinas, Virginia, Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, all the way out to the Ozark Mountains, Arkansas, you know, Missouri, all those places, they stock a ton of brown trout in the rivers to help control herring populations and shad populations. So when the government stocks, they of course put in rainbow trout, but they put in a majority in our area, the greater Carolinas, Georgia, they put in a ton of brown trout. There's actually a couple lakes in Alabama too that guys will be like, dude, I caught a brown trout out of it. Can't wait to get your brown trout Klash 9. So anyways, that guy. And then lastly, it's the dog days of summer, and I like throwing big, slow glide baits for big old fat girls. Who doesn't love fat girls? I do. That is the Hinkle trout in my cancer trout pattern. I say cancer trout pattern because it looks like it's been destroyed. But anyways, this time of the year, once again, when you are on the main lake, it's hot, you can hear the cicadas. The fish get kind of lethargic, and you just can kind of reel that trout real slow, and it just has these big slalom glides, big cuts, and they'll come from great distances to eat the Hinkle trout. So anyways, that's what I got tied on right now. I'm glad you came out here. I'm fixing to go back inside. Look, I'm like beating the sweat right now. So I'm gonna put all these back in the rod locker. We'll go talk some more inside. We're a little sticky, huh? But pretty awesome. All those baits are available at dreamcatchersfishing.com. Absolute juice. I mean, when I think about like beating the eyeballs off of some fish with a swim bait, those are the swim baits I'm throwing like right now. You know, obviously in the fall time things change up a little bit. We go to a few more soft plastics like Line Through. 6th Sense coming out with their new Line Through. I've had a prototype of that for a while and caught some mega kongs in colder water, but you know, we'll go to a Huddleston, some other baits. All those baits are available at yours truly, dreamcatchersfishing.com. I think I need to open up a Dreamcatchers, like, what's the opposite of a spa? You know, like you go to a spa and I think like...
Spay.
A spay.
The spay.
That's where the air conditioning and ice cubes are. I need to open up a little frost chamber. It's about 400,000 degrees. It honestly feels like Satan's grundle out there. So, anyways, that's it. That's all I got. All the stuff's available right there. We can box it up, send it to you, dreamcatchersfishing.com. Other than that, I am out. Thanks, y'all. Peace.